It's Ronnie. Look, I got card readers on TV. I'll explain. There's my cards, my 3 decks I use, the Master one, a Chinese one, and a very cool one. And I pulled some cards on myself today. Not myself. Energies around on an entity or a thing. AO energy around I was feeling. And I got cards and got some answers. And then, just for shits and giggles, I went on YouTube and I'm watching Virgo general readings to see if any of their cards, in the last 2 or 3 days, they pulled the energies of their cards that are usually, truthfully, the energy around, even though they're fakes. The cards usually show energies. 99% of the cards that I pulled are coming out in, let's see, 5 readers so far. For you snowflakes, that's 5. Yeah, but yeah, I don't listen to their explanation. I just watch the cards they pull. If anybody comes up with, oh, here's your past, here's your present, that's all bullshit. If you're a real card reader, you read the energies right there. Past is water under the bridge. Yeah, I've been through that before. Screw all them. But, so it was cool. Yeah, about 95% to 99% of the cards I pulled are showing up in each of these other general readings. So, yeah, my cards ain't lying about energy around me. But yeah, anybody says they got to read the past and stuff, and then they're fakes. And don't listen to 90% of their words. Learn about cards, and then read them yourself. But it's fun to watch them because, it's awesome how the energies of all the cards are about the same cards, but every scumbag reads them different. Except me, I'm correct. I've been doing this for 1,000 years, considering tarot cards only been around for maybe 100 now. I started 2,900 years ago. Chinese dominoes, they tell stories too. Pretty cool, the old shaman stuff. But then I was looking for some electronicals in the back closet, and I'm like, wow, and this fell on my head. But I found my electronicals and this fell on my head. A puzzle. 3D puzzle. Brand new. 703 pieces, it said, of the Eiffel Tower. I'm like, I used to have friends that come over and they'd drink beer and hang out for the weekend and crash overnight and we'd party and grill. And some of them like to put together puzzles. Them flat ones. Like 1,000 pieces. I had a full big fold-up table, and they do that. I'm like, yeah, I'll just hang out and watch car racing or something, or porn or whatever. And usually it was the ladies and the guys that jump in and test fit every piece. Here's a picture. If I want to do something like this, I guarantee you I could get the real specs off the interweb now and build. This is supposedly 3 feet tall when it's done, and it's styrofoam thick 3D puzzle. I could build this faster than I could put these pieces together. I could build it from the drawings using matchsticks, toothpicks, and bamboo skewers, and a hot melt glue gun, and I could build the framework closer and have it more correct and accurate than this thing is. Why do people do this? Look at this thing, though. Anybody wants to come over and put a puzzle together someday or a week, I'll leave it. It don't take up much room, but look at this. There's no specs. Here's the specs. That's what I start with. Any idea in my head is something like that in my head. And then I make specs and numbers and measurements. There's your directions how to put it together. Poking a hope in the dark. And look at this. It's brand new, never been opened, man. This is probably worth a bunch of money. Look at this nightmare mess. They can number each piece and then sort through and put them together, have some direction. Because life is a puzzle, get it? But in human lifetime, usually you have to make decisions. You don't have time to sit around and go piece by piece and test fit each piece. You get stuck with a piece, you got to deal with it. You got to know if it's going to fit or if it's not. This is Ronnie the philosopher, okay? Yeah, but anybody wants to come hang out and drink beer and put this thing together, I'll watch them. I said, I can build it faster. I can find the real specs and build it faster with hot glue and toothpicks and matchsticks and bamboo skewers and get it within probably 10% original. But yeah, that's cool. People love doing that stuff. I don't know why. I'd like, that's what I see in my mind, and then I get measurements and everything to do it. But here is the philosophy, the true stuff. Piece by piece, your life goes by. You got all these pieces you got to put together. And you think it's all together, and it works. Sometimes it works. Piece by piece, your whole lifetime, everything comes together, even though it's difficult and messing around, but every piece fits. And all of a sudden, you know it's correct. You get my drift? And it's correct. It's all piece by piece. But then there's times you got every piece fits, and then you're down to 2 pieces, and everything else looks totally correct, but the last 2 pieces just won't fit. So you cheat, and you take your little X-Acto knife and carve them out just to fit the rest, which is artificially correcting something that doesn't fit. And then it will collapse. Okay? Engineering. It's so close, but yeah, and you skip, and it's close enough, and it will just, stuff collapses. That's how engineering failures happen. Okay? Same with life. Everything in your life, your love, your job, your whatever, everything is working just perfect, but then this ain't quite correct, boom, and instead of admitting this ain't quite correct, we got to do something and make some new pieces or do some changing. We'll just work on this little thing. What we already got and work on it and lie about it and cheat and change, and then boom, 6 months, a year later, everything collapses. Don't do that. If the pieces don't fit, there's a reason. God, the angels, the universe, if you don't believe in any of that, human life is a puzzle. If the pieces don't fit, it's telling you something is not correct. You can't make pieces fit that don't. So go search for a new puzzle in a different AO where all the pieces will fit. And I've seen pieces fit. There was a lady that died at 104-year-old from a husband yesterday. Her funeral's the end of the week. And her husband passed away 2 years ago. He was 102. They were married 81 years. That's the pieces that fit, okay? My sister and her husband have been married, I believe, over 60 years. Had a 60-year anniversary. That's pieces that fit. Sometimes they couldn't find the right pieces to match them up and stuff didn't work, but all in all the pieces fit, and then it stands the test of time. You can't take pieces that aren't there, that don't fit, and make them fit by whittling away little pieces and kind of stuffing them in there. It's going to collapse. It's going to collapse after time or energy or wind or whatever. It has to be built all hooked. Every piece has to be correct or it will never last. Don't artificially change pieces. Don't artificially change yourself. If they say you're the piece that's not quite right in this whole connection in your love life, maybe it's their piece that's not quite right. But you can't whittle away on the pieces or their pieces and make them fit. If they don't fit, they don't fit. And you have to admit that and go, well, this puzzle is not ever going to work. So we need to move on. Okay? You get my drift? The pieces will fit when it is correct, but don't make pieces fit that don't. Just like mechanicing. You can rebuild a motor into stuff. Oh, it's close enough. Take a grinder and grind off a couple rod bolts or some crap. It's going to explode. The pieces have to fit. If it's not meant to be, if it's not correct, do not try to make it, because it's just going to blow up in your face. And all that time and money is going to be wasted. Get my drift? All right, there's Ryan the philosopher in common sense terms. Peace. Love. Have a heart. Have a heart. The pieces do fit when the correct time is there. And on anything, if the pieces don't seem to fit, don't try to will them away and make them fit. Look at reality, face the facts, go, this ain't fitting, it ain't working. Either we got to go work on some new pieces, get some new deals and do it, or start from scratch and do a new one. Get my drift? All right. Love you all, man. I'll be back. Take care. Be safe. Wow, that came out pretty deep. I'll be back if God and the angels let me. Love y'all. Ciao.